When you die, those who come to meet you have horns and neigh. This is how the path opens. Niútóu and Mǎmiàn, Oxhead and Horseface, appear as the first officers of the Diyu, the underworld where scores are settled. You still carry the warmth of the living when they touch your wrists and lead you through the painted doors to the final cuts. In the popular imagination, there are those who light incense, offer fruit, ask for a smooth passage, trying to buy the kindness of the inevitable. The tension lies in this contrast, a mechanical, impartial justice and the stubborn human hope of an escort who listens. In the temple murals, the pair appear as a warning. No one walks alone after their last breath. They do not judge, they lead. Still, their names are whispered, because every beginning of the afterlife passes through their hooves. And if there are captors who open the trail, who decides the direction, who chooses without deviating, who ultimately weighs the fate of your soul.
Black and white are not colors. They are verdicts walking side by side. Hēibái Wúchāng, the lords of impermanence, walk in pairs like the metronome of fate, one in mourning, the other in pale light. They do not capture, they escort. Where Niútóu and Mǎmiàn lead the way, this pair keeps pace, corrects deviations, reminds that every crossroads has a cost. Tall hats announce sentences, long clothes sweep away the dust of offerings. Plaques hang from their chests like small edicts. In popular worship, they are justice with human faces. They accept incense, read promises, bless merchants, frighten cheaters. For those who stumble, they can punish. One holds chains, the other holds the list, names written in ink that does not erase. There are stories in which they were exemplary mortals, separated by an unexpected rain, reunited by loyalty, and thus were elevated. In urban temples, their portraits stand at the entrance, guarding the coming and going between the living and the dead. If black and white regulate the march, who guards the borders and the oldest secrets of the vast, mysterious territory?
Whoever guards the forest guards the village. You learn early on that moral boundaries also have sentinels. They call them Yaksha, spirits of territory, water, and trees that watch over entrances, pillars, and bridges. They are the visible image of what is invisible: order. When the traveler offers water, flowers, or a coin, you feel the wood of the portal breathe. The path accepts your steps. In temples, pairs of guardians support the roof as if supporting the sky, reminding you that prosperity depends on balance. The lesson is simple and stark. Touch what is not yours, and the harvest will wither. Honor, and the rain finds the field. In the iconography, powerful bodies, wide eyes, bared teeth, not to wound, but to warn. Sometimes females appear, Yakshini, a promise of fertility and cool shade. Chronicles tell of guardians who refused to abandon a burning gate, and for that were raised. You cross, breathe, and give thanks. But virtue is also a temptation to pride. Every threshold guards its perfumed trap. And if someone smiles too much on the other side, will they be a guardian or a reaper in disguise?
You smell the scent first, then the silhouette that shines like a promise. Báigǔjīng, the white bone lady, learns the shape of your desire and dons a maiden's skin to cross gates and monks. She smiles as if returning childhood, and when you let your guard down, only bones laugh. Her ambiguity isn't whim, it's method. impossible beauty, a soft voice, ancient hunger. In Journey to the West, only soon Wukong notices the sound that doesn't match her face, the skull's hoof scraping beneath the silk. She rarely attacks. She prefers to tire the truth, test perception, divide companions. Wherever she passes, merchants sell talismans against illusions. Where she fails, tales abound of eyes that swore they saw what wasn't there. The trick is simple. Show exactly what you want most. Charm is the bait. Hunger has no face. Some demons demand worship. She demands carelessness. And if a beauty beckons from the roadside, what hungrier thing awaits just ahead?
Foreign names, familiar teeth. You hear them in the rumble of caravanserais. Luóshà, echoes of Rakshasa, demons who crossed mountains and sutras to dwell in the stories of the road. They smell of heated dust and metal. They eat distraction. In images, tongues like blades. Inflamed eyes, laughing throats. They are not just voracious. They are opportunists. They attack when the procession forgets discipline, when the sacred chant becomes a murmur. For some monks, they have sworn to protect those who keep the texts. For merchants, ambushed at the bend. You learn the difference in the body. Erect posture, measured breathing, firm mantra. Any hesitation, and the shadow grows. In villages, mothers scratch simple talismans. Soldiers trace circles with ash. Travelers tie ribbons to their wrists. Small fences against fear. In games and series, they reappear with black armor and impossible speeds, reminding us that imagination only modernizes the same old fear. After the fear subsides, the village searches for someone to guard the gate. Who guards the border between our world and theirs?
The city also protects itself by fear of deviation. Qióngqí, the beast of vice, barks from the coat of arms like a warning. It rewards the wicked, punishes the just, an inverted mirror that educates through threat. In the classics, it is one of the four scourges, a creature that celebrates crime and confusion. In practice, it becomes a deterrent emblem, a reminder that prosperity only lasts where wickedness does not reign. Merchants hang talismans with its silhouette to bind temptations. Ancient magistrates cited its name on credits against fraud. Designers redesign it with sharp claws, a long tongue and smoky eyes, an aesthetic that wards off easy impulse. You understand the moral trick. It's not a saint at the door. It's the description of the monster your ego can become, and this keeps ranks, contracts, and bridges safe. In parades and games, Qióngqí returns as a boss who demands discipline. Losing to it costs revenue, time, and reputation. Thus, fortune becomes order maintained. But before this pedagogy of teeth, there were ancient forces drying up the world. What archaic root taught limits to human thirst?
A dry breath sweeps across the plain, and the cicadas sound like cracked metal. They call her Hanba, or Nüba, the woman of drought who walks under the sun, and, wherever she passes, rivers grow thin. In the oldest layer of myth, she appears after wars between Huangdi and Qiyo. Dust becomes a character, drought a sentence. Chroniclers record processions, burned straw dolls, drums calling for rain. Archaeologists see in these gestures a map of survival. You understand the symbol. A community gives a face to misfortune, to negotiate with it. A simple and terrible moral. Disregard for heaven exacts interest on the earth. In the arts, poems from the Shi Jing, ink landscapes, matte masks, the aesthetics of the desert pushing the soul inward. Designers resurrect dried-out silhouettes, fissures, ochre palettes, as if the paper were thirsty. When the drought hits, talismans, chants, and stick dances, millennium-old technology, return. If art and ritual dominate the void, what tradition opens and closes the passage of the dead?
In the month when lanterns descend to the river, so do the doors. It's called the Ghost Festival. The city cooks for the absent, burns paper money that only circulates in the dark. You learn rules of courtesy from those who have departed. Don't whistle at night. Don't call names in the street. Leave an extra bowl on the table. It's the annual pact that organizes the invisible. Before the procession and the tablets, however, there was Hundun, the primordial chaos, without eyes or mouth, an opaque egg where nothing was known. From human hands were born calendars, portals, lists, hats with auspicious inscriptions. From anguish, the need for guides and guardians, Niútóu Mǎmiàn capture, Hēibái Wúchāng escort, Yaksha guard doors, Báigǔjīng tests attention, Luóshà imposes discipline, Hanba remembers limits. Everything returns to the beginning, order drawn upon the night. When the last lantern goes out, you hear hoofs in your memory and understand. The cycle closes and begins again in the wingless ruler.